Hi friends, how's it going? Doing something a little bit different today. A few weeks ago I made a little crochet with me video where I crocheted this checkered tote bag, and today I'm going to make a tutorial how to do it. I've never made a crochet tutorial before, so bear with me because I'm trying very hard. I've made my pattern, but I'm just struggling with how to describe things. This bag in particular took me probably like 10 plus hours to make, and I was like, hey, I don't want to just make another one because I already have one. So what I'm going to do today is my tutorial is going to be based on like a smaller version, but the way you make the bag is exactly the same. It's just like how many stitches you use. So I made this little like pattern with a small size, which is what I'll be doing, and then the large size is this big bag right here. Okay, so I'll show you guys my janky little pattern I put together here. I based this on the granny square bag layout, and if you just Google that, it's basically like if you lay the granny squares down together, put them together and fold them in a certain way, it makes a bag. Because I'm not using granny squares, I'm basically just using strips of the squares in placement of the granny squares, if that makes any sense at all. So like the purple one is just one square, the green section is 3 squares put together, the blue section is 4 squares put together, but it's basically all the same for the small and the large, except how many like stitches across you use for each square. Yeah, so for my small one, I'm gonna do pink and white. So the brand is this Crossmart Value yarn. This is like my new favorite yarn. The white is in the color Off-White, and then this pink is the same one in the color Blush. And then for this, you're gonna need a 5.5mm hook, a pair of scissors, and then some like large needles to sew everything together. And as it says in the pattern, it's really easy. You always start with white, that way the pattern lines up. So just start with white for every single one. Okay, so we're gonna do the first square, the purple square. Reminder, I'm doing the small size. So starting with the small square, we're gonna do a slip knot. Put your hook in there. And for the small, we are chaining 18, and for the large, we're chaining 22. So we're just gonna start 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got our chain of 18, and we're gonna do our first double crochet. It's really important that you skip the first 2 chains and do the double crochet into the third one. So into this chain right here. And do a double crochet. Okay, as I explained, each color has 4 double crochets. That counts as the first one. So we have 1, 2, 3, and we have the last one, the 4th one. On the 4th double crochet of each square, we are going to switch colors. So we're going to start like this, just a regular double crochet, pull through, and then we have 2 chains on the hook. This is where we switch colors. Just like to take my yarn and drape it over the hook like that. And I have my loose end and then my end attached to the ball yarn. So I have my yarn attached here, and I'm just going to pull through, and now I have pink on the top. So I have my 2 strings attached to the yarn here. So when I'm working on the pink, I need to have the white tucked in here so it's hidden. So I'm going to take my pink, start double crochet, and I have my white, and then what I want to go into, and the white string is just tucked under there. Yeah, so it's just under the double crochet. 1, 2, and this is the fourth one, so we need to switch again. Put it in. Okay, so this is kind of the tricky part. You need to switch this string and this string, but you want to make sure that you're not like twisting them around, and that when you switch them, they are still like the right way with the ball of yarn. So like this, you don't want to be like twisting them around like this so the yarn gets all messed up. That's really difficult to deal with. Keep this one down, and then I'm going to finish the double crochet with the white. Okay, and then we're just going to continue doing this to the end of the row. Okay, now we're on the last stitch of the row. Basically, to make it look like squares, you have to stack 2 rows on top of each other. So for this last one here, we're not going to switch colors. Okay, we're not switching colors. And this is the first row. So to make the square, we're going to stack. Going to chain 2, 1, 2, turn our work over, and then do pink on top here again. And when you have this string here, you just kind of have to like pull it up. It's a little awkward to catch it under again. Okay, yeah, so we have 2 rows stacked on each other to make 1 square. Now we're on the last stitch, and this time we do need to switch colors. Pull tight, and now we have pink. Okay, and this is what it should look like. 2 rows make 1 checkered square. And you're just gonna keep doing this exact pattern, 2 on top of each other, and then switch until we have 4 squares, which is 8 rows. Oh yes, and I forgot to mention, because we do the chains, it seems like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but just ignore that. So don't skip the first one. Like on the chain one, there's gonna be 5 here, but when you stitch it all together, it gets hidden, so it's totally okay. And we have the last double crochet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take these 2 strings and cut them and leave a tail long enough to weave in, and then I'm just gonna take my hook and pull them both through. And here we have the first square. And if you do the large size, it'll be 1 square extra and then 1 square higher. So it'll be a little bit bigger. And just make sure you really pull a string so you don't have anything popping through like I do here. Okay, so this square here is our first square like that. Oh yeah, so now we're gonna do the green section. And basically you just use the method I just showed you for every single section, and just follow the pattern. So now we're doing the second one, which means we have to chain 50 if we're doing the small, or 62 if you're doing the large. Okay, this is what it looks like when we have the green section, which is basically 3 squares. I'm not going to show me doing every stitch on the row because it's exactly the same as the first square we did together. I hope that makes sense. If you're like confused, you can just lay this down, and as you can see, it's like 1, 2, 3 of these, and we're just doing it all in one. Okay, we've completed the second strip, and now we have the blue one, the biggest strip, which is 4 squares wide. And again, start with white. So for this one, the small size, I'm gonna chain 66, and if you're doing the large size, you're gonna chain 82. Okay, we got the large section done. Very exciting. I still cannot believe how much faster it is to do the small version. Much quicker. Now we have the orange section, which is 3 squares. Hi guys. It's the next day. I got the second to last panel done here. Amazing. And I just started my last one. I was just in class when I did this whole thing, so I got it done pretty quick. Yes, so now we're on the very last one, which is the 2 squares put together. I think I could probably whip this up in like 30 minutes or something. Last square is done. I love the pink and white together. I think it looks so good. Okay, now that we have all the strips done, it's time to stitch everything together. So what you want to do is follow this little guide to lay out all the pattern pieces. Now that we have all the pieces laid out, I'll put a photo on the screen here. This is how we stitch it together. So of course, first we're gonna stitch all the panels together, and then just following the diagram, you basically just fold the bag in half and stitch the sides together. Okay, have all the pieces laid out. This is what it looks like. And the way you know it's laid out correctly is like all the single strings should be in the right corner and then all the double strings in the left, so that way you know it's all laid out correctly. And at this point you want to pick which side is your right side, whatever side looks the best, and make sure that is on the bottom. So it's really easy. I like to use the light colored thread to sew everything together. That way it's just a little less visible. And I like to stitch everything together with a single crochet. Some people like to do slip stitches. Basically, like, I don't really think it matters, but I like to do single crochet. I just find it a lot faster. When they're together, I'm gonna attach the yarn and then sew across. So you just want to double check to make sure everything's lined up correctly, that the white and then the pink, pink and white, white, pink, pink, white matches up with the pattern. I'm gonna take my slip knot, put my hook through, making sure that the first one lines up with the first one here, and attach my yarn. And I'm just gonna pull that through, chain one, and it's attached. Now I'm just gonna make sure to go through like the first one here and then the one in the back, making sure like each one lines up with each other. And then here we have the first panel attached. And you're just gonna do the exact same thing for all the pieces. Took a while, but we have all the panels stitched together. But if it's lying down, you kind of like fold it so it looks like this, and then you fold the edges in, and then it kind of like, we'll have it upside down, but it makes a bag. If you just look at the picture, lay your piece down, you'll be able to see how to fold it in half. Okay, so now we're gonna make the straps on the top of the bag. I'm gonna do pink for the straps. You can just choose whatever color you would like. So you're gonna attach your yarn with the slip stitch. And you wanna make sure that you attach your yarn on if you're looking at the V, on the right side of the V. So on this side or on this side here. We're just gonna attach it, chain one, and we're gonna single crochet all around the entire bag. And you wanna do your first single crochet in the same chain that you slip stitched into. But when you get to any one of the V's, you want to do a decrease in the middle. That way the stitches don't get like clumped up. Okay, and now we're doing the second round. So we're just gonna do single crochets. But now, when we get to the peak here, we are going to do a single crochet and then start chaining. And from here is where we're gonna make the strap. Basically, you just wanna chain until you get the length of the straps that you want. I'll put on the screen here how many I do. Okay, and then when you're done chaining the mount, we're going to skip over to the next peak and attach it here. Make sure you don't get this part twisted up when you attach it. And attach it here with a slip stitch. And then we're just going to keep single crocheting until we get to the other peak and do the exact same thing. Okay, doing those straps is kind of hard to show, so hopefully this is a better visual. Basically, we get to the peak, chain, 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 and then attach it on the other side. So the straps look like this. Hope that makes sense. Okay, once you're done going around twice, you're just gonna slip stitch back in the first stitch and cut the yarn. Okay, this is what the bag should look like now. The sides are thick, but the inside only has one round in it. These ones are really easy. Basically, you just attach your yarn anywhere in the V on either side and single crochet all the way around once, and then attach it on the other side and single crochet around. Super easy. We are done. Well, almost done. Now you gotta take the needle and weave in all the ends that have not been weaved in, which is my least favorite part. I just like to kind of put them in a little bit and then tie a knot and then cut them off. Everyone kind of weaves in differently. We are finally done. Look at her. She is so cute. I'll do a little like side by side with the big bag so you can see the size difference between the two. But like, it's just so cute and perfect. And I love the colors. Hello friends, it's the next day. I actually kind of look good now, so I thought I would show you what the bags look like when you got a cute little outfit on. Okay, here's the pink one on. So cute. Perfect for like going out or something. And here we have the green one. A lot bigger, but still just as cute. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. This is my first time doing like a crochet tutorial. It is actually really tricky to like try to film and explain crochet stuff. So hopefully I will get better in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and I'll see you next time. Peace!